So my working hypothesis as we move forward today, we're going to focus on the scenario of an individual unidentified object, not flights of planes and bombers and things of that nature. We're also basing this on the CBS News radio broadcast, which we're going to listen to, which described a singular object moving over the greater LA area that morning. And we're also basing this on a solitary radar target that was picked up by military on that morning. And also the photograph. The photograph shows one anomalous object. And again, we're really going to kind of cut through all of the misperceptions associated with that photo today. So real quick, the timeline, just to kind of give you some temporal perspective on what transpired on that morning. 1:44 a.m., radar detected an unknown target from the direction of Santa Maria, which is to the northwest of the greater LA area. 2 a.m., target was within 120 miles west of LA. 2:06 to 2:27 a.m., the target was tracked to within 3 miles of Los Angeles. 2:15 a.m., anti-aircraft crews were put on alert. 2:22, blue signal ordered by the regional controller. 2:25, red signal or blackout was ordered by the regional controller. 2:27, radio silence ordered by the regional controller. And 2:32 a.m., anti-aircraft crews put on green alert status number 1. In other words, they're ready to fire on any targets. So we're going to talk about the government documents, the newspapers, but one of the best accounts is an audio file, which many of you may have heard on the internet. And this is the report of CBS reporter Byron Palmer, pictured here. And just real briefly, let's listen to this. This was on the very morning of the event.
The news of the world, Wednesday, February 25th. Once again, Columbia's correspondents in world capitals and in the fighting zones in the Western Pacific are ready to give you the latest news direct by shortwave radio.
And now for news of our own West Coast, we take you to Los Angeles and the report of Byron Palmer.
Anti-aircraft guns went into action against unidentified aircraft in the Los Angeles area shortly after 3 a.m. Pacific wartime this morning. The anti-aircraft guns began barking during a blackout ordered by the 4th Interceptor Command at 2:25 a.m. The unidentified object, which some sources thought might be a blimp, moved slowly down the Pacific coast from Santa Monica and disappeared south of Long Beach. Army officials declined to comment on the possibility that the object might have been a blimp. However, it required nearly 30 minutes to travel some 25 miles, far slower than an airplane. Watchers on the rooftop of the Columbia Broadcasting Building in the heart of Hollywood could plainly see the flashes of guns and searchlights sweeping the skies in a white arc along the coastal area. Concussion of the shells could be felt in downtown Los Angeles, 15 miles away. U.S. Army planes quickly took to the dark skies, but whether they contacted the object has not been announced. Army officials say they will not comment until they receive a full report of the action. Although some watchers say they saw airplanes in the air, semi-official sources say they probably were the U.S. Army's pursuit. Several observers say they saw one or more planes spotlighted by 20 or 30 searchlights. The object moved southward, presumably over Huntington Park at the western edge of Los Angeles, and on southward to about Long Beach on the coast. By 3:30 a.m., observers said the object appeared to be over the south of Long Beach. Searchlights closely followed the object down the coast and kept it centered in their glare. Shells frequently could be seen bursting near the object, but none appeared to hit it. The shooting stopped about 3:30 a.m. Approximately 20 minutes after the firing died down, the ship returned and headed westward from Long Beach toward Santa Monica. The guns went into action again, hurling round after round of shells at the object. The second barrage appeared to be closer to downtown Los Angeles, since watchers could hear the concussion of the guns more clearly, and the flash of bursting shells was brighter. Then the ship disappeared for the second time over the ocean. We return you now to CBS in New York.
So just one point of clarification, you heard him reference the aircraft that were sighted, and they state that semi-officials thought it might be the U.S. Army's pursuit. We're going to talk about that as we look at some of the government documents. They did not have any planes in the air on that morning. So again, there was some hysteria, there were some misperceptions that were taking place, and we're going to look at that. But again, the area in question, from 2:25 to 7:21 a.m., there was a blackout along the entire southern California coast. So imagine, half of California plunged into darkness on that morning. Again, something that I think we need to take into account, which the skeptics never touch on, and I presented this at the Open Minds Conference about 2 months ago, and it was funny. I brought up this point that the skeptics never addressed the radar data in this case because they all think it was due to hysteria or a balloon, and this just doesn't happen to fit in with that theory. After that conference, a skeptic on a blog site, kind of critiqued my presentation and demonstrated exactly what I said. He never made reference to the fact I brought up this radar data information. So it just goes to show that they stick to the same playbook. But as we can see here, at 1:44, an SCR-268, which was the first United States Army short-range radar, picked up an unidentifiable aerial target confirmed by two 270s, which are long-range radar. At 2 o'clock, there appeared on the Information Center's operation board an unidentified target 120 miles west of Los Angeles, and it even goes on to state, well tracked by radar by First Lieutenant Kenneth R. Martin. Then another memo states at 2:06 to 2:27, 25th February, an unidentified target was picked up and tracked within 3 miles of the Los Angeles area. This target was picked up originally by one of our SCR-268s and confirmed by the SCR-270s. Major Milton E. Durham is on record stating, quote, as the target approached from the Santa Maria area, still well tracked, unquote, the anti-aircraft batteries were put on alert. Here's Los Angeles, and here is Santa Maria, so we actually not only have radar confirmation, but we have a much better idea of the direction this target was coming in from. So it was actually coming in from the northwest, moving to the southeast, towards the greater Los Angeles area. So this was the track of the unknown target. Again, the radar, here's the SCR-268 short-range radar and SCR-270. And what's interesting is the SCR-270 was the same radar array system that picked up the inbound Japanese planes getting ready to attack Pearl Harbor just 2 months prior. Now, this is a rather busy slide, so I ask you to bear with me, please, but I wanted to try to put all of this information together to truly paint a picture of what's going on. Here's the famous photo. This little yellow dot right here, here's the downtown Los Angeles area, here's Santa Monica, here's Culver City. This yellow dot right here is where we estimate this photo was taken in the Baldwin Hills area, just to the southeast of Culver City. The inbound radar track was coming in from Santa Maria. It then apparently moved inland over Culver City, Baldwin Hills. Then, according to all of the testimony, the object moved to the south of Los Angeles over Huntington Park, which Byron Palmer alluded to in the radio broadcast. And then the declassified government documents reference all of these little areas marked in blue. And these correlate with the initial path of the object, which then moved south and disappeared over Long Beach on the coast.